so excited for this. Oh man, I've been gone for too long. This came in just as I left town for a week, and then it was a weekend, and then there was snow and school delayed and everything, so I did not have a chance to play any games, and finally, I don't have time to play games. All I have time for is to look at this. So at the very least, I'm ready to go. I have everything in front of me here so that we can talk about exactly how to play this new expansion for Final Girl. This is Season 2 just came out, or Series 2, I believe they're calling it. It arrived for me probably about 10 days ago. I could open it, but I had no time to play or learn how to play. Here's the Board Game Geek page for it. This is what we're looking at. Of course, another highly rated expansion for Final Girl because it's an amazing game with really well thought out expansions. This seems to be this Once Upon a Full Moon, like none of them are like simple or easy or basic or anything, but it has like the least rules overhead, I think. And so that's why I want to start with this one, just to kind of get back in the swing of things. So looking at this box, what we have here, we have two new Final Girls, Gretel and Red. Awesome, awesome. Okay, so there they are. And of course, you got my ugly mug right in the way here of Red's powers. So there we are, 5 and 6 health points. So that's pretty good, I think. And then, 5 and 6 final girls victims to rescue. What powers do we have here? You may convert a 2 to a success by discarding 3 action cards. That's burly. That seems like it's going to be clutch is what that'll be. Once per action phase, if an enemy is within 2 spaces of you, you may move 1 space for free. That's pretty cool too, like sneaking through the woods. And look at that, for each additional victim saved, receive -1 horror or +2 hit points for Red. So that's awesome. And I never really showed these before, but these are underneath your plastic bits of the box, like of the insert. Underneath this, you have these. So this says for Red's eyes only and for Gretel's eyes only, and they have special weapons in there for each final girl. And this is, even in Season 1, I don't know if I ever mentioned it or not. I don't think we ever played with any of them either. Even though I took them out, sleeved them, threw them in the box, mine are, they're sitting in here, but I've never actually played with them. It just, I don't know. Maybe it's the edge I need most of the time, so who knows. But here we are. We've got the big bad wolf. Let's see if this will show up properly for us in giant screen. There we go. All right, so this is really bizarre. So the first thing to note is that there are 3, and of course because of the weird angle here you can't see there are 3 spots for minor dark powers, and then almost immediately, speaking of dark powers, almost immediately the real dark power kicks in on this guy here. And look at all that horror that you get along the way up. Man, and 6 spaces of movement, and that's going to really come into play here pretty soon when I start talking about Storybook Woods, all right? That's going to be a big deal. So looking at these cards, right, here's our finale cards. They have, if in like hunter mode, right, we have that little targeting thing. That's what all of their icons say. You can see that right there. So I couldn't figure this out at first. So let's take a look at the little manual thing here. Oh, here, I've got it right here. Let's take a look. I can also pull it up on the screen. Hunt and slay modes. So most of the terror cards for the Big Bad Wolf have different effects based on what mode their killer is in. 2 modes, track and slay. Okay, so let's just stop and take a look at some of these for a minute here. So there's a terror card that has the 2 different sections. This one's in like blue, and that one's sort of purple. So you can see that it has different modes for this guy. So we have the wolf begins the game in track mode, and we know that because, again, you can see right down here on the dark power cards, they all have track mode at the bottom. So that tells us, I was looking for a token. I thought perhaps I had missed it somewhere, something that would like flip back and forth, but no, this is, you let 2 people get killed, and then all of a sudden, so when you flip it over, oh, that's wild. Oh, that one's like the epic mode. So epic mode is both, of course, the epic card rather. But you can see there, they switch into slay mode. Just so that we all know what we're talking about, that's what we're referring to here. So When the dark power is revealed, the wolf goes into slay mode. If the wolf is in this mode at the beginning of the killer phase, you will apply those effects and not the effects for track mode, right, which is the opposite for track mode, okay? If the wolf goes into slay mode during the killer phase but started out in track mode, you will not start applying the slay effects until the next killer phase. The wolf will always be in one mode or the other. The only exception is the Killing Machine Epic Dark Power card, which has you apply both the track and slay effects. Many tarot card effects are not subject to the wolf's mode and should be applied regardless of which mode the wolf is in. So pretty straightforward, right? We just kind of have to, look at what's down here and apply the effects of said tarot card. Now, speaking of tarot cards, remember what I said. Oh, I lost it. Where is it? There you are. There are 3 minor dark powers. So there is what big eyes you have, what big ears you have, and what big teeth you have. Okay, and they all add 2 hit points to the big bad wolf here. And they're a little bit different, though. If the big bad wolf attacks you and you prevented all of the damage, you still take a damage. When you move into or begin your turn in the big bad wolf space, take damage. And when you move into or begin your turn in the big bad wolf space, discard a random action card if you have any. Oh, man. That's no good. And then, of course, there's quite the assortment of pain and suffering to come, right? All the better to eat you. I love it. Going for a walk today? I'll huff and I'll puff. All right, so there's... Ooh, maybe I wonder if we run into... Well, maybe... Let's go take a look at the rest of this. Anyhow, that's it for the big bad wolf. You just have to pay attention to what mode you're in. I just wanted to point out here that, he recovers hit points here. I don't know if it's a... There we go. Big Bad Wolf recovers, 1 health, starts with 9, and you start with your horror on 5, and then gets to move up to 6 per boot. Now, take a gander again at, where is it here? Yeah, these guys. There is some movement there. So, here. Oh, it's the epic one I'm looking at. Okay, I knew one of them looked insane. Look at that. So, yeah, you can see there's 1, 2, 3 boots here. So it's target, move, kill, target, move, attack, target, move. Oh, brutal. I don't know how anybody is any good enough to play this game in that way. And then there's some cool stuff here, too, right? Ravenous Hunger, Sixth Sense, a Killing Machine... Destructive War. Oh, hey, there. Look at that. There's the pigs again. When revealed, and once during each upkeep phase, remove from the game the top item card of the closest item deck to the big bad wolf. Wow. Nicely thematic. Good job, guys. Gotta hand it to you. Okay, so that all looks good. These things are these are just the things with the rules. I just put them on some graphics here so we can see them. So then we let me do the little story here. Big bad wolf, terrible noises it makes, and its red glowing eyes are so scary. Such bad breath it has in that big sharp-toothed maw. Fairies like me fly fast, so I live to tell the tale. Humans and woodland creatures are not so lucky. Arala, a friendly woodland sprite. So then we have the location that comes with this box, and this is the Storybook Woods, which we know doesn't work too well on a green screen because there's lots of grass and trees here, and you can just see right through it. But there it is. Now, there's a village, there's Grandma's house down there on the bottom, a gingerbread house, a clearing, the dell, a meadow. Let's see here. Maybe this will work a little bit better here. That way we can see what's going on here. The village, Grandma's house, and the gingerbread house are the searchable locations. As far as escape points go, you have, it looks like, 2. You have way out here and down here in like what looks like the scary woods. And then that's it. There's only 2 escape points. Now there's a lot going on this map in very few spaces. You will notice that there are not as many spaces here, and that's why this is terrifying. Okay, so let's take a look at, let's read the story here. I don't want to forget this either. It's a wondrous place filled with beauty and magic. Animals and fairies share the land with humans, and a winding river twists and turns through the forest. But don't let the chirping birds and colorful flowers fool you, for blood flows in the woods all the same. Now this one's a little different here. We have, again, see that's it. There's not very much on here. That's why I wanted to start with these. They seem like a good entry point into Series 2, if that's what you're looking at. Kind of like Hans and Camp Happy Trails from Season 1 or Series 1, whatever they want to call it. So the very first thing this points out is that this map, the Storybook Woods, has no special setup things on it at all. That one's all going to come through these cards we're going to take a look at in a minute here. And then it does point out that Storybook Woods has fewer spaces than most other locations, okay? So that's I don't think there's a place you can be that's not 6 away, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, no. That wolf can get everywhere when it's time, okay? All right, so then there are bridges. So you can see it better on the graphic on the screen there than if I hold this thing up to the camera. So there are 3 bridges on the board that cross the river. They are built very poorly and could collapse with too much weight. Therefore, only one victim will follow you when crossing a bridge. And I just know that this is going to be something that I mess up. That is so hard to remember. Additionally, the troll bridge, it's not hard. It's not a lot. It's just that I'm used to doing 2. I even screwed that up in an Inkanyamba play where I think I took 3 with me once and walked through a place that wasn't even connected. So mistakes are made. There are, let's see here. Additionally, the Troll Bridge event card may have you placing a Troll Bridge token on the board. I assume that's what that is. Okay, just like the other 3 bridges, only one victim will follow you across the Troll Bridge. And then this is cool, the Raft, and there are 4 of these little tokens. Those little guys, there are 4 of those. One of the items you may find is a raft. When you find the raft, you will need to choose 4 spaces where the raft can go ashore. These spaces are clearly marked on the board. You must place the raft tokens in such a way that they are touching both the river and one non-exit space. That'll be the thing to remember there too. Oh, that's easy enough. I'll show you in a second here when I get this off the screen. Okay, so you must place them, so when with the raft, you will be able to move to and from these spaces along the river as indicated on the raft item card. Now, what it's talking about here, and I wanted to point this out specifically because, I mean, that's it. Those are the rules overhead for this. I think this is going to be the perfect entry right up there with Hans and Camp Happy Trails. Just very little overhead, just little things you have to remember, like these bridges. I feel like I should put a token in here or something to remind me that these bridges are only one person because I feel like I'm going to mess that up just out of habit. So what would it say? The raft item. So here's the item deck, and again, this is, a nice fat deck here of all kinds of items. There is quite the spread of cool stuff to see here. All kinds of neat stuff, right? So the raft is this guy right here. Now, the raft, you'll see, again, it has that little icon up there so you know what token to find. Thankfully, it was incredibly well designed. You won't have to search for tokens, but I want to read what this card does, and this is far too small for me to read it in front of me. Place each of the 4 raft tokens so that each is touching both the river and a raft space. Now, if you look at the board here, you see there's little raft icons. I think there's like 11 of them. There's one there. There's one there. These little raft icons. And you just put a raft token right there so that you know that there's a raft right there. Okay? And then let's say we put one here. Let's just do this now. Let's just do it live. There we go. Oh, see, that's sneaky because gosh, I wish you could cross the river easily, right? Forget these bridges, man. All right, so there we go. So there's our 4 rafts. And then it says, when in one of these spaces, you may use 1 movement to move to any of the other spaces with a raft token. Okay, that's fantastic because there's only 2 exits. That the little booklet thing here doesn't talk about that and say, oh, by the way, there's only 2 exits, right? Unless I'm missing one. I don't think so. Okay. But then it says, you must spend 1 time for each raft token passed through, including the starting and ending tokens. So, it sounds like it's going to cost you 2 time to go anywhere, right? So even if I go from here to here, I'm passing through that one to this one. I started here and ended here, right? It says, including the starting and ending tokens. So that sounds like I could spend 1, 2, 3, 4 to get way down here, just floating down the river. That's sweet, though, because, how many steps would that take me to get all the way over to this place? That's, 1, 2, 3. But we all know how lucky we are rolling those dice to walk and move. Sometimes it's not so lucky. So there's that. That's the raft. There's chicken bones here. Spend time to place chicken bones. To place a chicken bones token in your space. If an enemy enters a space with chicken bones, discard the token and deal 1 damage to the enemy. That's nice, right? Just like a little trap. There's songbirds. If the killer is within 2 spaces of you, you may spend 3 time to send the songbirds to attack, doing 3 damage to the killer, and then discard that card. I would love to have that. This dude has 9 hit points. Bread during the action phase, and let's see here, or discard during the action phase and choose one of the following. Gain 3 time or move up to 2 spaces. Okay, bread is good stuff. Thorny Vines. This one has a little token here. Spend time to place the Thorny Vines token in your space. If the killer enters a space with the Thorny Vines, discard this token. The killer takes 2 damage, and the killer phase immediately ends. That's fantastic. It's a bummer there's only 1 Thorny Vines. Oh, that does not show up well, but it's kind of cool, though. All right, so then we have a hatchet. There's actually a token for the hatchet as well. You may attack from an adjacent space. If you do, place the hatchet token in the target space, and this card to the side, out of play. You may discard a search card while in the space to pick up the hatchet. That's cool. Then there's Candy. Discard during the action phase to make a horror roll with 5 dice. For each success, choose one of the following. Gain 2 hit points, 2 time, or move 1 space. There's a cage. You may discard this item to retrieve the songbirds item. To retrieve the songbirds from the item discard pile or from the unused item carts. That's awesome. Oh, man. Wow. Basket. Shuffle the unused item cards and draw 3. Keep the items that are not weapons. You wouldn't have them in your picnic basket, right? We have, and then flowers may be used once per action phase if the horror level is 2 or higher for -1 horror, and you can use that one 3 times. That's cool. There's a slingshot there. Then a red cape. Look at that. Lucky rabbit's foot, map, archery, bow, pitchfork, knife. So many cool things to play with. You don't need to buy all of the Final Girl stuff. You need to buy the core set and like 2 boxes, and you can play for like a month before you want to spend $20 more. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the minis for this. I just didn't get them during the campaign. Just like I didn't get the minis for the season 1. I bought them after just because I happened to see them and was like, ooh. Yeah, I can't control myself sometimes when buying cool toys, so. That happens. We have, setup cards. Here's 5 setup cards. Very, very standard. This one looks like a nightmare. That one's called Scatter. Oh my goodness, look at that. There's people all over. There's the family visit, the picnic. I don't know why I like these so much. I really think it's just the name. I don't really care the setup, right? Let's see here. Forest Dwellers and Breadcrumb Trail. Those are our setup cards. There's not a ton of terror cards in the location places, so just, quickly here, getting treats for grandmother. I was carried like a ragdoll out of the woods. Have some sweets. The full moon is out. Again, all very thematic ways to deal pain and suffering to the final girl. And then the item, or the event cards, rather. So these, I wanted to take a quick look at these here and just see what all, like, the juicy ones are here. We've got the toll, wait. It does say toll bridge. Wait a minute. Did I misread that? Bridges. It does say toll. Did I say troll? Hold on a second. Where is that? What did I do with that? Does that not say troll bridge? Additionally, the troll bridge event. Right? The troll bridge event card. So the only place I could find this PDF was on the Van Ryder Games website. You go to downloads and scroll all the way to the very bottom, and there's like this weird link says don't click this, and it's like this, and I don't know if it's like I don't think it's a final version of this. There's like, you can see, look at the S on Storybook Woods at the S at the end. Some of these graphics in this were not like quite perfect, so this might be just like an early draft, but I couldn't find anything else, or like no like press kit stuff. Like, look at that S. It doesn't look quite right. So I don't know. This is all I could find so that we could get some graphics up here. I really wish I had a way. So this doesn't say troll. That says toll bridge. Place the toll bridge. Okay, but additionally, the actual paper says toll bridge. Yeah, 3 times it says toll bridge. Well, that's interesting right there. Toll bridge. That's this same thing. Right? I just took it from the PDF instead. Oh, wow. And they had graphics on the real one. Wow. Interesting. Huh. All right, well, maybe not that interesting, but it tripped me up. Toll bridge, okay. Place the toll bridge token anywhere on the river so that it touches 2 spaces. Those spaces are now adjacent. You must spend 1 time to cross with an additional 1 time if a victim follows you. We have breadcrumb path. Choose 2 of the following spaces: dell, meadow, or clearing. Place a breadcrumb path token on them. You may move between these spaces as if they were adjacent. Oh, that's so cool. What a good idea. You know, and that's like the secret passage in Camp Happy Trails, but like thematically. That's awesome. Only you can use the breadcrumb paths, and victims cannot follow you. Hansel, that's right. You've got Gretel right here. Look at that. Bam. Hansel's the blue meeple. The victim closest to you is now Hansel. Once per turn, whenever you move at least 1 space, you may move 1 additional space as long as Hansel remains with you for the entire movement. At the gingerbread house, you may replace Hansel with a normal victim to take any 1 item card from the item deck. If Hansel dies while in your space, +2 bloodlust. The woodsman. The victim closest to you is now the woodsman. He will follow you into the killer's space. While attacking the killer, the woodsman adds +1 die for every 3 health the killer has. If you save the woodsman, double your victim save bonus. If the woodsman dies while in your space, -3 time. And the Pied Piper. Place the Pied Piper in the village. Any other victims in the same space as the Pied Piper now or in the future are killed. Ooh. Wow. All right, then. That makes me feel like there's going to be some of these, say, like, move towards that space, right? Like, that kind of stuff happened in the Big Top, though. Although there it made thematic sense. That's where people would be going, of course. Yeah, maybe I don't see anything like that here at first glance. All right, that's probably good for us, right? Fairy Ring, Travelers, a harmless old woman. Oh, man, I don't even want to spoil that one. That one's too good. Just from reading the first, like, 4 words of it. Oh, man. Awesome. I can't wait for this. I really can't. It's super exciting. I love this game. I'm excited to have new content for it and new ways to die. Yikes. All right. Unfortunately, that's going to have to probably wait. Now, in the past, I put out like this quick complete spoiler overview video the same day I would actually get a chance to play, but like I said, it snowed. I lost hours of my day today, and that's just, I don't have the time for it, but I wanted to at least try to get things rolling again, get a video out there, so, I didn't just disappear or anything. But that's it. That is, here, let me pull this back up so we can all see it. That is Final Girl, Once Upon a Full Moon overview, just taking a quick look at it to see, the new rules and whatnot. This one seems pretty straightforward, and yet I managed to ramble on for far too long about it. So, all right, well, thank you very much. We will see you hopefully tomorrow with an actual playthrough of me getting my butt kicked. The question now is, who do we play? We may or may not be a little biased towards a certain color around here. So, I don't know. I mean, we might have to play red just to find out. All right, take care.